guys, so this is the beautiful shawl that we're going to make today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 7 of these rows right here, what I like to call the flower rows. And we are ending with picot stitching on the end of our yellow here. Isn't it just beautiful? I just love it. And this right here, I look at these as the flowers, and this is the trellis, the lace part of it. And it's like the green that's on the trellis, and then you have your beautiful flowers. That's why this is called the garden shawl. Okay, so this measures about, depends on how you crochet. You may use a 3-weight yarn, you may use a 4-weight, or whatever size yarn you want. I chose to do a medium 4-weight yarn with this, and I used a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook and about 1,100 yards, I would say, total. You're going to use more, about at least out of a, let's say a 380 skein yarn, you're probably going to use about 1.5, almost 2 of this in the green, and almost a whole one in the yellow, and just, you know, slightly, just a small amount in the salmon color. But if you're using a medium 4-weight yarn and a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, it will average about a 70-inch wide span. If you do about 7 of these flower sections, you're going to end up about a 70-inch wide span, and the length will, from the center here all the way down to your point right here, you will end up with about 38 inches in length. And you can choose to, you know, stop right here on the road on the 6th set of flowers. You know, that's just what you want to do. And then there's your beautiful trellis look. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started on this beautiful project. So we are going to start with the green color, and we're going to chain 5. So I just leave a long strand of yarn right here, put my hook behind that strand of yarn, and then I just wrap around it like that, and I grab my yarn and pull through the loop on the hook. So that is 1 chain. And so grab your yarn, pull through the loop on the hook. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 chains. All right, so you're going to slip stitch into this first chain right here. So you just insert your hook in the chain, grab your yarn, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook, and it will create a circle like that. Okay, so go ahead and chain 1. All right, so now we're going to work on our foundation row. Now, if you know how to do a magic circle, go ahead and do a magic circle. But if you don't know how to do a magic circle, just go ahead and do the chain 5. So for our foundation row, we're going to work 1 single crochet in this circle right here in the hole. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do that 3 times. So insert your hook in the hole, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's do it again. Insert your hook in the hole there, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And it's looking like this right now. So insert your hook in the hole there, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. So you should have 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the chain 3s. Okay, so that's our foundation row. So for row 1, we're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to work 2 half double crochet in this same stitch right here. So yarn over, insert our hook in that first stitch there, that single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Okay, we're going to make another half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook. You have 2 half double crochets right here in the same stitch. We're going to chain 2, we're going to work 1 half double crochet in this chain 3 space. And we're going to chain 2. Now we're going to work a half double crochet V-stitch in this chain 3, the next chain 3 space right here. And so that is 2 half double crochets, a chain 3, and 2 half double crochets all in the chain 3 space. So we're going to work 2 half double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to work 2 more half double crochets in that same chain 3 space. That's 1 and 2. So that's our half double crochet V cluster there. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. And in this chain 3 space, we're going to work 1 half double crochet. And we're going to chain 2. And in this last stitch right here, we're going to work 2 half double crochets. That's 1. When we finish out 2, we're going to change to our color B, which in this case is going to be yellow. So we're not going to complete the half double crochet. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and before we yarn over and go through all 3 loops, we're going to attach color B, which is going to be our yellow. So leave a long strand of yarn for weaving in. So instead of grabbing the green yarn, you're going to grab the yellow yarn and pull through like that. And you're going to chain 1. Now what I like to do is, I like to go ahead and tie this off, or tie this like in a little knot right there, just to hold it in its place. And then you're going to fasten off the green like that, and keep it to the side because you'll be working with it again. I know we chained 1, but since I tie that off, it brings it all the way down level, so I don't really count that one. So if you want to count it, then you actually need to be chaining 3, because that's what we're fixing to do, if that throws you off. But that's just a little trick or tip / trick that I do, is I go ahead and chain 1, fasten it off kind of tight, it brings it down to its level, and it's kind of like I never chained anything at all. So anyway, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And like I said, if you're not comfortable with that, just chain 2. Okay, so that represents a double crochet. So in this other next half double crochet, we're going to make another double crochet like that. All right, so we're going to start on our little repeat. This is going to be our flower. So I am going to chain 1, and that's only in the beginning here next to our double crochet. So in this space right here, the chain 2 space, we're going to make a cluster. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. We should have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. And we're going to chain 2. Now I know right here we chained 1, but that's just going from the double crochet to our cluster. You only do that when you have your cluster going into your double crochet, or double crochet going into your cluster. Okay, so our next chain 2 space, we're going to do another cluster. So yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook. That's in our chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now that is putting us right here in our little V-stitch here. Okay, so we're going to work 1 cluster, yarn over, insert our hook, pull up, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. Okay, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. Okay, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to make another cluster in that same chain 3 space, just like that. Okay, so that's our cluster V-stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, and in that chain 3 space we're going to work 1 cluster, and then yarn over, pull through all 7 loops on your hook. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2. You got 1 more chain 3 space right there, so we're going to make another cluster. That's 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. Now, since we're going into our double crochets, we're only going to chain 1, and then we're going to work a double crochet in that half double crochet and a double crochet in the first half double crochet. And since we're going to change colors, we're not going to finish this double crochet out. We're going to do like we did that when we changed colors. So we'll just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So before we finish out those other 2 loops, we're going to attach our other color. Our color C. So just hold it like that, grab the yarn, pull through, and like I said, I chain 1 just to kind of lock it. I turn my work over and I tie a little knot with those 2. Like that. And then I go ahead and fasten off the yellow. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, turn our work. And I treat that first chain 1 as just a way to hold this down real good is all. But like I said, if you're not comfortable with that, you don't need to chain 1 because that was your chain 1. Okay, so we're going to make a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches here. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. I'm going to make a half double crochet in the next stitch here, like that. And since we're going in to our pattern, we're going to chain 1, and in this chain 1 space we're going to make a half double crochet and then chain 2. Only in the beginning do you do a chain 1. When you're going from your double crochets into your pattern, when you're going to your half double crochets into your pattern, you're only doing a chain 1 next to the half double crochets and next to the double crochets. So always remember that. It's just a chain 1. I mean, you can do a chain 2 and it's not going to hurt anything, but I just think it just lays better when I do a chain 1 right there. All right, so in your next chain 2 space, you're going to work a half double crochet, and you're going to chain 2. And in your next chain 2, you're going to work another half double crochet, and you're going to chain 2. Now you're in your V-stitch here, so you're going to make 2 half double crochets, a chain 3, and 2 half double crochets. So there's 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 more half double crochets, 1 and 2. Now chain 2, 1, 2. And in the next chain 2 space, work 1 half double crochet, chain 2. The next chain 2 space, work 1 half double crochet, chain 2. In the next chain 1 space, work 1 half double crochet, and you're going to chain 1 and work a half double crochet in this stitch and in the turning chain. That was 1, and then 1 in the turning chain. Oh, you're going to switch colors again, so you're not going to finish it out. So we're going to change to yellow again. So let's grab our yellow yarn and grab the yellow yarn, pull through, and do a chain 1. Like I said, I use that to just kind of lock it. And we're going to tie this off This keeps them from coming loose. And fasten that off. Okay, so now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work, and that represents a double crochet. And in this next stitch here, we're going to make a double crochet, and we're going to chain 1. In that chain 1 space, we're going to make a cluster. So yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. Now we're going to start the pattern of chaining 2 and a cluster in the chain 2 space. Make another cluster. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, chain 2, and repeat that, a cluster in the next chain 2 space. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, chain 2. Okay, we're going to do that one more time here. Make one more cluster. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, chain 2. That's what we have so far. Now we're in our cluster space here, our chain 3. So we're going to work 1 cluster. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to work another cluster. It's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Okay, in this chain 2 space, we're going to work a cluster. 1, 2, 3. Go through all 7 loops. Chain 2, 1, 2. And we're going to do it again in this next chain 2 space. Work another cluster. Chain 2. And another cluster in the chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. And in this chain 1 space right here, we're going to work a cluster. It's 1, 2, 3. And through all 7 loops. Okay, so we're going to chain 1. We're going to work a double crochet in each of these next stitches right here. So it was 1, and 2, but we're going to change colors to green, and we're going to start our lattice stitching, which is my favorite. I love doing this. So grab your green yarn, pull through, and chain 1. Okay, so turn your work over, and you're going to tie it off like you have been doing. And fasten off your yellow yarn. And now we're going to start on, this is row 5. That's foundation row, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. This is row 5. Okay. Turn your work, and you're going to work a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. There's 1 and 2. Now you're going to chain 1, and in that chain 1 space, you're going to make 1 half double crochet, and you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. In each of the chain 2 spaces across, you're going to make 1 half double crochet and a chain 2. 1 half double crochet, chain 2. The next chain 2 space, 1 half double crochet and a chain 2. Keep repeating that all the way up to the chain 3 space. Okay, so now we're at the chain 3 space. So you're going to work 2 half double crochets. It's 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. 2 more half double crochets in that same chain 3 space. That's 1, 2, and chain 2. And in each of the chain 2 spaces, you're going to work a half double crochet and a chain 2. That's 1 and chain and 2. And just keep repeating that all the way across. And when you get to the chain 1 space right here, you're going to make a half double crochet. And you're going to chain 1. And in the last double crochet in the top of the turning chain, you're going to make a half double crochet. So there's 1 and 2. So that is row 5. Row 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, you are going to repeat row 5. And that's going to make that wide trellis look. So you're just going to keep repeating row 5. So rows 5 through 11 are all the same. So go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, put a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. There's 1 and 2. And in the chain 1 space, chain 1, I'm sorry. And in the chain 1 space, work a half double crochet, chain 2. And in each chain 2 space, you're going to work a half double crochet and a chain 2. And you keep repeating that. Half double crochet, chain 2 in every chain 2 space. And this is going to create this trellis look. Okay, when you get down to the chain 3, you work 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And 2 more half double crochets. 1, 2, and chain 2. So in each chain 2 space, you're going to make 1 half double crochet and a chain 2. Each chain 2 space here. And don't forget, including your chain 1 space at the end. You're going to work in that chain 1 space. You're going to work 1 half double crochet and a chain 1, and then a half double crochet in the last 2 stitches. 1, 2, and just keep repeating that. So I'll meet you back when you get to the end of row 11. You're going to keep repeating rows 5 through 11, and then you're going to change to the yellow, and you're going to work 1 yellow row, your cluster row, and then this salmon color row, and then row yellow, the yellow row again. So you're going to repeat row 4, and then row 5, and then row 4 again, and then 5 through 11, and then row 4, 5, and 4, and then 5 again. Keep repeating that all the way, and you're going to end with this yellow row right here. You're going to end with row 4, and then we will do picot edging on the end. So just keep making this as long as you want, and just keep repeating. Once you've finished about 7 of these, the yellow, what I call it, like the little flower sections, once you completed 7 of those, we're going to go ahead and do our picot edging. So go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and you're going to turn the work. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So you just insert your yarn over, pull through the loop on your hook. That's a slip stitch. So we're going to skip this next stitch, and in this chain 1 space, we're going to slip stitch, just like that. Chain 2, 1, 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to make another slip stitch. And we're going to skip our cluster, and in our chain 2 space, we're going to slip stitch. Chain 2, and then slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. Skip the cluster stitch, and in your next chain 2 space, you're going to slip stitch. Chain 2, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. And you're just going to keep repeating this. You're basically going to skip your cluster stitch, and you're going to slip stitch into your chain 2 space. So we started out with a picot here. We skipped this stitch right here, the next stitch, and we slip stitched into that chain 1. We skipped this cluster, and we slip stitch into the chain 2. We skipped the cluster, and we slip stitched into the chain 2. And that's what you're going to keep doing. Skip the cluster, slip stitch into the chain 2 space, and chain 2. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Just keep repeating that all the way to you get to the V section right here. All right, and I'll meet you back. Okay, once you get to this V, your middle stitch here, go ahead and just slip stitch into that V. Chain 2, 1, 2. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. And go ahead and slip stitch into that same, it's actually a chain 3. Slip stitch into that chain 3. Chain 2. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, and then go ahead and skip your cluster and continue on with your pattern where you chain 2, slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, skip your cluster, slip stitch into the chain 2 space. And so here is what the middle looks like. All right, that's all you do for this, so I will meet you when you get to the very end. Okay, we're at the end. Now this is that chain 1 space, so slip into the chain 1 just like you did on the other side, and slip stitch into chain 2, and then slip stitch into that first stitch. Skip that double crochet, and in that chain 3, you're going to slip stitch. Okay, and that's all you do for your picot edging. So fasten it off and weave that in. Your needle like this, and then just weave this in. There we go. And then fasten that off. There you go. And you are done. You have a beautiful shawl. And there you are, folks. You have a beautiful shawl. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.